Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 on the Eureka SMP server with Jiggly Pants here. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing great. Between episodes here, I did a little bit of base upgrades. Uh, Probably a couple more chests and like a little furnace arrangement here. But over here at the iron farm, I decided to add a little bit of a auto crafting system. It just auto crafts the iron into blocks and it composts the poppies. It does that just with these two filters here, one set for iron and one set for poppies. When the drops come in, they flow across the top. All the iron gets sorted out into this crafter. As it fills up, it gives an output signal, and when it's full, it pulses and auto crafts a block, which just go down into that chest afterwards. And then the poppies, they come down this hopper chain. They go through a little bit of a composter and then end up in that chest down there. But anything that can't get auto sorted, so let's say a zombie falls in or something like that and we get some zombie flesh, that'll just flow across these item filters and then into this chest here, just because I don't want any of those items getting into the auto crafter and kind of blocking it. And then here I just put a little standalone auto composter thing just for any bits and bobs I have. But this here I also made, it's just a little nano farm kind of thing. It's got one block of farmland back in here, and all these dispensers are full of bone meal, and then a piston on top. So right now that farmland's completely dark and nothing can be planted on it, and plus I can't even reach the farmland to plant on it. But when I flip this lever, it pulses this piston, gives me just a little bit of a window to be able to place the potato in there, and then it instantly grows because of all the dispensers, and then when the piston shuts again, it breaks it. It's a little bit loud, so I'll stop it. And then I also just got some wheat back there, but I think that was there last episode. I can't quite remember. But yeah, lastly, with that skeleton spawner we found last episode, I've turned it just into a little bit of a bone meal farm, or a bone farm. It's a little bit janky, but if you see, the spawner is directly underneath where we're standing. Well, not directly, but it's close enough that it activates. They all fall down, and then they kind of go into this chamber here, and then they get shot up, and they make their way down in front of me, and they land on that dripstone. It's a little bit janky up here. Kind of freestyled it a little bit, but it works, so I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, they all just come here, and they're one hit with my sword. I collect all the bones for stuff like that farm and stuff, and bones are always good to have. So that's all the stuff that I've done basically between episodes here. I did also kind of clear this out a little bit more because today we're going to be starting my build. I'm going to be starting with 3 buildings, well, 4 technically, but you'll see 3 main buildings and kind of like a background piece for the 4th building there. And I've went and I've collected all the resources, all the different types of blocks. There's a lot of them. Not like too many of one type, like the most is like almost 2 stacks of brick slabs, but the rest is just kind of bits and bobs. Like here, for example, I only need like 1 spruce plank and stuff like that, so it wasn't too difficult, but it did take me a bit of time. So we're gonna start that off, and I'm gonna try something out new for this, so just bear with me. I'm gonna try and use the replay mod, and I'm gonna try and do a bit of an aesthetic time lapse of me building this. So let's get into it. Well, that wasn't half bad. It's maybe not the best, but um, I think I did a pretty good job with that little time lapse. I'm still kind of new to replay mod, so I don't know fully what I'm doing. But the build itself is done, at least the first house of the four I'm going to be making. Um, yeah, it took a lot of time, a lot of running up and down. You probably saw in the time lapse me getting different blocks because there's a wide variety of blocks built into this. Um, like you can see just here, it goes all the way from blackstone all the way up to andesite and every combination of block in between there, and little bits and bobs like different trap doors and pots and barrels and note blocks and everything. When I was designing this, I really tried to focus on shading. I kind of thought the sun would be at maybe like a 45-degree angle here, looking down onto the build. So this corner here would be a little bit lighter, and it would go to the darkest point here. That shows very well in the back section here, especially on this top section. These bottom sections, not so much. They were a little bit more difficult because I was trying to take into account like overhangs and stuff, and it got a little too complicated for me. Like in here, I started with some dark patches, but of course it's raining. But yeah, I like it. If you guys haven't guessed, the build I'm going for is kind of like a shanty medieval European style of build. These first couple of builds here that I have planned out, the medievalness might not come out as much as I'm hoping, but um, as the build carries on, I'll try and add more aspects of that. I would say this is more European style so far, but I just like the bright kind of accent colors of the reds and the yellows in the windows there. But yeah, ultimately I'm pretty happy with this. Just trying to fly around and give you guys all different kinds of angles. The back um, leaves a lot to be detailed, but we'll probably have another building butting right up against this, so it's not that big of a deal. Same with the roof. I could have added a lot more texture and different colors and stuff like that to that, but when you're viewing the build mostly from down here, you don't really see that, so I'm not too concerned. But as much fun as that time lapse was of me building this, it was kind of choppy with me running back and forth getting blocks and placing like 2 blocks and then coming back getting more. So I think these other builds, other buildings that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do by myself, and I'll show you guys the end product just because I think it might look a little more cleaner for the video. I'm still trying different things out and testing stuff, so yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you guys when I'm done. And then just like that, we have our other builds done here. I went with a nice red and dark oak, kind of dark looking building right beside this one, because this one looks all happy and colorful. I want more of a dark monotoned color beside it. And then I got this bright white to kind of darkish gray in there with some pops of green just to contrast with the red there. I think it looks nice. More European style and less medieval, but I have planned another build that'll go here that kind of connects up with that bridge, and that one's a little more medievally. And then our last build back here is just kind of like a little bit of a townhouse, just to kind of fill in this gap between the two houses, just so as you're walking by, it doesn't look like that you can see out there. But to start to fill in this gap, as you might have saw here, there's no backs. They're just kind of facades for the moment, just because I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing in this area, if I'm going to be adding more buildings or what. I might be doing some kind of shipyard, kind of dock area maybe, and these could tie in, or maybe like a market along the shipyard or something like that. But we'll see where we go from here. I do think from the ground these builds look really good. That sharp angle looking up kind of blocks line of sight a little bit, and you get to see more of the details at a distance rather than right up beside them. Because yeah, this looks good, but it looks almost purposely put there. From the ground, you kind of see, oh, just by happenstance there's something out of view there and stuff like that. Now what I'm gonna be doing is I want to put in a canal along this base. That's why I wanted the dark looking water, just because I think it'll look more sewery and gross, because I'm gonna try and go for kind of like a dark, gross alleyway feel throughout the base. Kind of like, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but if you ever seen Diagon Alley, kind of that's what I'm trying to do. And then I'll probably try and texture up some of this floor, because you look at the build like this, that looks amazing. And then you look down and you go, oh, what's going on with the floor? It looks funny. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on with that. And I'll catch up with you guys when I'm done. And just like that, I've put in the little bit of a canal and some odds and ends here and there. For the canal, I just went with some mossy stone brick and tough brick with some muddy mangrove roots, seagrass and sea pickles, just kind of splattered all around. put this little bridge in here. Nice little chain details across the top, just to make it look more formal and kind of, yeah, just to make it look more formal and stuff. And then I added this little fishing hut or dock kind of thing with some fish hanging from chains. I used some armor stands, some invisible armor stands for those, and then I scaled them up to make the fish look a little bit bigger. They kind of look, the salmon especially looks a little comically large, but I think they look good. Adds a little bit more to this area. And then I added in just some chests, barrels, a fish head, just some random clutter stuff. I also did a little piece here, a little cart as well, and then some more barrels and campfires to kind of look like logs and stuff like that. For the path, I'm doing something a little different. I've never done this before. I added in the majority of it's dead coral, and then I did the pale moss along the edges to kind of look like it's a little bit overgrown and stuff like that. I'm just noticing now these 3 moss blocks here. I'm gonna change those for coral so it looks like people go across the bridge, but it's not a big deal. I like with these moss carpets how they kind of extend up the wall and kind of blend the ground in with the environment around it. Kind of like, yeah, they make like a smooth transition between the pathway and then the buildings themselves, instead of it just being one solid harsh like yellow to like a bluish gray here. It kind of like merges the two, and I like how there's different heights, like here. Oh, well, before it was 2, now it's just gonna be 1. But here you see we got the 2, and then on this side we got the 1. It looks cool, it looks neat. I think it's a really good improvement. We'll add to the game, make it a little more interesting on the eyes, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'll probably add in a little bit of a boat or something here, just to have something in the water itself, but I'm not too sure yet. And I tried a couple different designs and I didn't really like anything that I had, so that might be build something and then let it sit for a couple of days, see how I like it. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Pants' editor. It seems like he forgot to hit record or do a little intro for this little part, but he thought he would put some smoke effects on 2 of these houses coming out of the chimneys here, and then just do a little bit of a time lapse here. So I'll get right into it and let you guys enjoy the time lapses. And with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap up the episode. We've gotten the main foundation of our build built. Just kind of wanted to get some blocks in the world just so that you guys could see what I've got in pictured for this build. Like kind of spiraling streets all over with different little cute little homes, maybe like a little bit more Mediterranean than medieval now that I'm looking at it, but I think it's coming along nicely. We got the nice smoke effects that I just put in, the nice path with the course, not course, but the dead coral here. This little dock area with the fish hanging and stuff, and I've been kind of tinkering around in the background, and I've been working on my build for next episode. I hope you guys are excited to see what that is. I'm excited to build it and show you guys, but I got quite a few blocks I gotta get together. It's gonna be right here. I'll show a little teaser for what's to come. I just had this made, and I'm super excited to put it in the world and try it out. I'm not the best at making custom models, but I think I did a decent job. So you guys will have to tune in next episode to see what that's for. But if you guys like this episode, maybe consider giving it a like. Maybe give it a comment. Let me know what you liked, maybe in the comment, or maybe what you didn't like, or what you want to see me build, or what you want to see me do. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.